Hello world, and welcome back to DxO. My name is Don, and I'm going to walk you through processing an image with DxO Photolab 5. So I'm working on a project in 2022 to do a photo a day, and I want to try and make as many of these into short videos on how I'm processing them as possible. So let's jump in and take a look at today's image. I was thinking about this notion of glass half full, idea of perspective, and then I imagined, being a Lego figure and being submerged in a half full glass, and suddenly your perspective changes. A photo a day. You have to go with the ideas when they come. So anyway, this is where I'm at. This is my basic image here, my wee little Lego figure, and this is roughly where I am headed. I'm not going to use this one. Actually, I was just using lights, around my house for this. I didn't light it specially, and this had more lights on, and it's just causing sort of more little highlights and whatnot, which I think I like this one better. So I'm headed roughly in that direction with this image. So let's jump in and see how I got myself there. So first of all, if you've watched any of my videos, you've seen me flick on smart lighting and then often turn it down. But in fact, I think that it does just a really nice job in this case. So I will flick it on and I will leave it. I might even see where that takes me. Medium. That might be. I'm just going to go back for a second. I'm going to leave it there for now. I'll just leave it on slide, but I am going to go ahead with that, and I'll give myself a bit of contrast, but I'm going to turn down that micro contrast a smidge. I don't quite want all that it's going to give me. I am going for a bit of a contrasty look here, but in fact I'm using a film simulation that's going to add quite a bit of that just naturally. Another thing that I just want to quickly do is just make sure this line that's running through here, it looks pretty close, but it looks just a touch off to me, which I find a bit, so I've just hit the wee. There are different ways to do this in here, but this is just a quick way to do it. So I'm just going to drag that up to there and try to get what I feel to be a sensible line there, and just see what I think about that. Just a little bit of a shift, eh? So go ahead and close that. And now I notice that I've got these bars top and bottom. So all I'm going to do is pop over to my crop tool, and which is in the sort of geometry tab here, and it will just automatically top and tail that for me. There it is right there. So I'll just turn that on and let that do its work. I'm going to crop it more, but I'll just leave that for now because it feels nicer to have it cropped to me. Right, so the next major thing I want to do is go ahead and apply my film simulation. Again, I've got DxO Film Pack installed, and so this is really easy to do. So I'm just going to come down here to the color rendering space, and when I do that, if I look in my categories, you can see there are a whole bunch of things there, including black and white films, cross-process, digital, color negative, color positive, all kinds of things. Even profiles if you're using your color checker to create sort of super color accurate profiles, you can do that as well. But I'm just going to head to black and white film, and I know from already having had a play that I was quite enjoying the T-Max 400, which gives me quite a contrasty look. I'm going to also, in amongst this, turn on the grain to go with this particular film, and that is just found over here in the effects space. I've kind of divided things up in terms of that, the color being with the main color controls, and then things like grain going to fall over here. And it doesn't actually do a massive amount of grain. I can zoom in and see if the video will show you this. Grain is on, grain is off. So it's just adding like a little bit of texture there. Nice. Cool. So I'm going to now pop back to my exposure, and I am going to see how I feel about medium on this. And actually, I think especially with this on, I like the medium smart lighting even better. So I am going to go ahead and crop this. I quite like it in the square crop, so just grab my crop tool, and I'll come down here and indicate that I would like a 1:1 ratio, and it kind of does that more or less for me. I'm going to shift it over just because of that helmet there. I'm putting it ever so slightly to the glass that is to the left, with the intention that that helmet will just sort of balance it. Even though I had started out with a feeling of wanting this to be all quite symmetrical, I think with the helmet there, it's actually nice like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Nice. And this is a pretty quick one. I think probably the last thing I'll do is I'm just going to pop into my tone curve here. I'm going to actually just going to, you know what, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to take my histogram and I'm going to float it out so that I can continue to see it. And I'm just going to get this a little bit bigger. Go away. There we go. And go away. There we go. Nice. Cool. So I just want to keep a pop there because I want to be able to see where this part of the histogram is sitting here. So I'm going to grab that and just I don't want to blow things out too much. But I just want to bring that up to the edge there so that the whites on there are very, very particularly white. And I think I'm actually going to look at what would happen if I lift those blacks just a smidge, because I do find them, I like the contrast, but I find them just a little bit dense on that side. So I'll do that. Maybe just see as well about if I just raise that a hair and just bring it back down up there. Let's see how I'm going with that. Yeah, nice. I think I like that. So there we have it. Glass half full. A matter of perspective. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you come back to see the next video. Cheers.